You learn something new every day. Alex, thank you for that update. Well, a shooting in Virginia that rocked the whole nation, and a U.S. student returns home from North Korea in a coma. And this summer, a vacation destination may not be in reach for many Americans. Let's start our top 4 and 4 countdown right now. We begin with headline number 4 as deliberations in Bill Cosby's sexual assault trial continue into a 5th day. Nerves are frayed, patience is shot, and no one is certain when it will all end. Jurors returned to the deliberation room Thursday morning, but the long road to a verdict is taking a toll. Some jurors appeared angry, and even the judge has sounded exasperated at times. The sequestered jury has been at it for more than 27 hours since getting the case Monday. They've paused a half a dozen times to revisit key evidence, including Cosby's decade-old admissions that he fondled accuser Andrea Constant after giving her pills at his suburban Philadelphia home in 2004. After leaving the courtroom, Cosby and his legal team were confronted with reporters. And this is how Mr. Cosby responded to one particular question.
Mr. Cosby, any comment about the jury's deliberation?
Yes, that just happened. Bill Cosby did a Fat Albert impression on his way out of the courtroom. Well, hey, Mr. Cosby, you're facing up to 20 years in prison if you get convicted, plus you'll have to register as a sex offender. Over 40 women have accused Cosby of similar allegations dating back all the way to the 1960s. Well, moving on now. Are you planning a trip this summer? Well, it turns out lots of Americans say they can't afford one. So instead of surf's up, bro, more like I'm too broke to go, bro. Here's headline number 3. According to a new poll by the Associated Press NORC Center Public Affairs Research, nearly half of Americans, 43%, say they won't be taking a vacation this summer. And among those non-vacationers, 49% cited the cost. Another 11% said they just can't take the time off from work. And if your employer offers paid vacation days, consider yourself lucky. 41% of workers say they get no paid vacation. Younger and lower income workers are especially likely to not get any paid time off. Well, here's headline number 2. A U.S. college student is still recovering after being released from North Korean captivity. The shocking part of this story is the young man returned home in a coma. An Ohio hospital spokeswoman says the American college student who was released by North Korea in a coma suffered a severe neurological injury. Otto Warmbier is in stable condition after arriving at the hospital just 3 days ago. His father, Fred Warmbier, says he does not believe North Korea's explanation that the coma resulted from botulism and a sleeping pill. Fred Warmbier said there's relief to have their son home in the arms of those who love him and anger that he was so brutally treated for so long. And topping this week's countdown is, of course, the shooting of Congressman Steve Scalise and 4 others at a baseball practice in Virginia. The business of the House resumed yesterday after a rifle-wielding attacker opened fire on Republican lawmakers practicing for a charity baseball game. Well, the attack critically wounded House GOP whip Steve Scalise of Louisiana and also injured Capitol police officers and a current and former congressional aide. The assailant, James T. Hodgkinson, had nursed grievances against President Donald Trump and the GOP and was shot by police and later died. Scalise had been fielding balls at second base when he was shot and then dragged himself away from the infield in a trail of blood. All 3 of Mississippi's Republican congressmen were unharmed at the charity baseball game practice. Representatives Trent Kelly and Stephen Palazzo were on the Republican team. Greg Harper is not. There are eyewitness accounts that the gunman fired shots at Trent Kelly, but Kelly was not harmed. Scalise had surgery recently and is still recovering. Well, there's no doubt about it. This has been such a crazy week, a scary week for us all. But one thing that was refreshing to see, the congressmen and women showing unity after this tragic shooting. Whether you were a Republican or a Democrat, one lawmaker said it best. We were all playing for the same team as we watched in horror that morning. An attack on one member, that is an attack on all of us. Be sure to join me next week. I'll be counting down a new list of interesting stories and topics that everyone is talking about. That concludes our top 4 and 4 countdown. We'll be right back after this.